Afternoon, everyone. We'll be starting in the next 5 minutes once joins. तो तब तक आप लोग थोड़ा वेट कर लो, अगले 5 मिनट में हम शुरू कर देंगे.
हमारा कैमरा जोड़िए टीएस नाम लिखो प्रिंसिपल ऐसे आके ना. हाँ आपका नाम नहीं प्रिंसिपल. सबने वहाँ टाइम लग गया था ज़्यादा. बीच में मूवी करना. प्रियंका प्रियंका
कुर्सी लगा दो.
क्या हुआ?
वो तो गया, आ तो गया हूँ.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be starting in the next 1 minute. Till then, मैं सबसे request करना चाहूँगा कि आप please अपना camera on कर लें and अपने microphones off रखें ताकि कोई disturbance ना आए हमारे आज के session में. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, once again, and a warm welcome to this very special edition of Voices of the Future, brought to you by edskExpress, an initiative by Deepspatial in collaboration with the Indian Express. मैं आप सबका आज के इस virtual session में सबको welcome करता हूँ. We are truly delighted to have you all with us, from students, principals, educators, and teacher educators to SERT and diet professionals across Himachal Pradesh for a conversation that we believe is timely, important, and inspiring. Just a quick note before we begin that this is a live session and we encourage you to drop your questions in the chat box. We will try our best to take a few towards the end of the session. And also, this session is being recorded for those who may wish to revisit or share it later. At edskExpress, we believe that conversations can spark revolutions, especially in classrooms. Today's session is part of our Voices of the Future series, designed to amplify the ideas and experiences of education leaders who are shaping tomorrow. Our theme this afternoon is blending teaching with technology and how the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan is not just an implementation framework, but a vision to create equitable, inclusive, and tech-enabled classrooms across Himachal Pradesh. In this context, it is our privilege to host a leader who embodies policy vision with grassroots connect. Shri Rajesh Sharma, IFS State Project Director, Samagra Shiksha, Himachal Pradesh. Sir has served across key portfolios in forest conservation, youth affairs, external affairs, and skill development, and now leads one of the most crucial education missions of our time in the state. Joining us today to lead this conversation are two highly respected voices in the media space, Dr. Deepa Gupta, Executive Editor at Deepspatial, and Meenakshi, Senior Assistant Editor at the Indian Express. Before I hand it over, a quick word about our guest and co-hosts. Rajesh Sharma, an IFS officer of the 2000 batch, has a distinguished track record in public service. He holds degrees in forestry and public policy and has represented India on global forums through his assignments with MEA and international training programs. Dr. Deepa Gupta, an executive editor, digital and Marcom, Deepspatial with 25 years of experience. She has worked extensively with the Times of India and has majorly contributed to Outlook, the Hindi Metro Plus, First Post, India Legal, Hindustan Times, and international journals such as the Munich Eye. She turned author with her book of poems, Matrix of the Heart, published in 2023. Ma'am has also collaborated closely with renowned filmmaker Muzaffar Ali, scripting documentaries and ballets that fuse heritage, poetry, and social themes. The dance ballet, Yamuna Darya Premka, was written by her in Hindi verse, staged at Jahan-e-Khusrau, Delhi, and at the Wajid Ali Shah Festival, Lucknow. And Meenakshi Ray heads the edit desk of Indian Express. She is a journalist with over 20 years of experience, starting her career with Reuters. She has also worked with Hindustan Times, where she headed shifts and managed everyday work. Ma'am has an MPhil degree in ancient history from Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. Welcome, sir. And thank you for joining us. Deepa ma'am and Meenakshi ma'am, over to you to carry on this conversation.
Thank you, Nalin. Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all those present here. I extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Rajesh Sharma and to everybody present here. Today, children, the teachers, principals, and people from across India from our office. Mr. Sharma, is it all right if I proceed with the questions now?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yes. So let me first and foremost, let me thank all of you who have joined us. And I'm also grateful to all the students who have joined from far-flung areas of Himachal. I know there are problems of connectivities in the remote areas of Himachal, being the hilly state. But I'm really grateful, and their parents also, that they gave access to their kids to join us. At the same time, let me welcome all my faculties who are the member of ICRTs, DIETS, and my office. So it's a pleasure to have you with us today. And very prominent, as Nalin was, describing about your CV. So I'm really humbled to know that we have really people who have lots of experience under the belt in various fields across, and also in journalism, in various newspapers, print media, and also the electronic media. So thanks to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. So, Samagra Shiksha is in itself a very, very different kind of a platform, and it's got so much to do with education and the reforms that are happening. So, it's been instrumental in shaping school education across the country. How is Himachal set to implement this vision?
Before I actually respond to the question you have actually asked, we have, the people who must not be much aware on the Samagra Shiksha also, who have joined us. So let me give them a little, background on the Samagra.
Sure.
Samagra actually started, before 2000. It was a DPEP project. And the DPEP project was like that few districts across the country were picked up by Government of India, where the Government of India started funding, those districts on infrastructures, teachers trainings, and other things. And then after 2000, it became, this Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. And after Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, now it is called Samagra Shiksha. So why there was a fragmentation, as I said, initially there were few districts, and then the program started in the entire state, but it was limited to the elementary education. And after that, government said that why it is up to the primary level only, let us do it right up to the 8th standard. It went up to the 8th standard. And then in the recent past, in 2017, it was thought that let it be a Samagra right from the pre-primary to the 12th standard. So this is how this has been involved in India. And it is a special purpose vehicle in every state, where the state goes, they formulate their proposals to Government of India, and this formulation of proposal to Government of India is actually being formulated, through a very bottom-up approach involving all stakeholders in the educational landscape in the state, and the state approves it. And then, it goes to Government of India. That's the routine from every state, and we do the same. So this is little background I thought that Dr. Deepa Gupta, let me actually apprise our stakeholders today who have joined and not aware about the Samagra Shiksha. So this is a little
Absolutely.
journey of the 20 years now, 25 years, but and the long way to go. Now the question you actually talked about was, how the Samagra Shiksha is being implemented in the country, and how it is, and what vision Himachal has to do with this allocations of the Samagra grant from Government of India. So let me tell you that as far the Himachal is concerned, Himachal had a very glorious journey right from 71 when we actually came into existence. And from 71 to 2002, 3, 4, we were really neck to neck with Kerala when it comes to the educational landscape. In a very 30-year span, we, state with the less than 30% of the literacy, we really touched 90% plus in 30 years. And then if you are aware of a book came in 2004-5, India and Development, which was written by Jean and Amritya Sen. If you read that book, India and Development, there are few chapters been dedicated to the state of Himachal and talking about the journey of it really glorifies the landscape of education in Himachal. But then, we went down, and the last National Achievement Survey, which happened in 2021, we went to 21st place. And at the same time, the PGI came, which was and the PGI also suggests that we were at the 18th position. So our journey, at that time, neck to neck with Kerala, and then went to 21 position. That is how we have traveled over the period of time. And that was a worrisome. And that's why when we talk of a vision for the state, we are talking about quality education in the state. And we are also talking about saturation of our infrastructural gaps in the state. And we are also talking about the teachers' training, where, when we talk of education, nothing can overcome, if the teachers are competent and the students are receptive, the education happens, it takes place. So nothing, no abiotic components are at all required in the educational landscape.
Absolutely.
Things happens rightly. So these are the three areas broadly in our vision, when we are talking and interface with the Government of India on Samagra.
Great, great. Absolutely true. What you said about teachers, if the teachers are there, you have the best of teachers, they churn out the best of students. Absolutely true there. So moving on, what role do you envision for technology and platforms like edskExpress in supporting inclusive and localized learning?
All I have to say is that technology is something which I always define in three ways. It purposely, it solves three purposes basically. It is a great leveler. So Himachal, when it comes to the state like Himachal, which is a very difficult areas, we have two complete tribal districts, and we have some other district which is aspirational district called Chamba. We have a lot of area under the tribals even in Chamba district, which is not a tribal district. So when we talk technology, so technology gives you access. Technology saves time. And it brings evenness. It doesn't understand the divide, the social divide or the geographical divide. So that way, I think this particular, intervention which came to us, I welcome it, and I find it that this is going to reflect our all kind of indigenous stories, right from the the teachers who do a lot of good work, but that go unnoticed. It doesn't travel even to the headquarters. And then after many times we come to know that there was one teacher school, but he has really reformed it. Today we have a this VC on with the Secretary Government of India, and there were many stakeholders, because as you know, we have a Chief Secretary's conference coming in November, So it's chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister. And they were talking about the same thing. And then the Secretary Government of India said that in many cases, it is so happening that the principals are doing such a good work. And he was mentioning, because the Parliament Committee was here, they went to one school where the principal of the school transformed their school in such a way that our students, from the private school joined that school back. So there are good stories. So these are the, what you call, these are the connect. The technology is a connect to really glorify those things. So this is what I think that this is the purpose. And another thing, of course, I mean, we want to, through this technology, this is going to provide and create nurseries of students who can think of this kind of a job role in their life also. So I personally feel that Nalin is one of the discovery of this, and there are many boys and girls who are the discovery of it. And they can bring those lot of stories from those far-flung areas at the forefront. That is what I think.
Absolutely true. Absolutely. We'll get to know of stories that are actually, like you said, that have gone unnoticed, the good work that just doesn't get a voice, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
You worked in skill development and ecotourism also. How can vocational training be brought into mainstream school education in Himachal?
I mean, that's a good question, in the sense that when we are talking of Viksit Bharat 2047, and we are talking about the primarily youngest nation now, where we have 50% population under 35 years of age. So we have got a demographic dividend which we are talking, this discussion started way back in 2008-9 when C.K. Prahlad came from US. And he said that if India has to, really grow, they need to do a lot of things in skilling, in vocational trainings. And by doing so, I think the workforce we can create and which can meet the requirement and in the entire world, particularly when the Western economies have a wrinkled faces. And, so a lot of requirement is coming from that part of the world. So it was thought at that time. Now, 10, 20 years from since then it has gone, and probably the Ministry of Skill came into picture. They thought of starting a All India service in the name of skill. That didn't happen, but anyhow, a lot of things have actually happened. The only challenge I see to this landscape is that there is a multiplicity of institutions. There's a multiplicity of the institution. That is my worry about it, because I always say that you have a technical institutes in the states, you have ITIs, you have polytechnics, you have engineering college and stuff like that. At the same time, you are doing something in the school from 6th to 12th, as we have done it in Himachal as per the National Education Policy 2020, that say that by 2026, 50% of the school have to be brought under the landscape of skilling. That we have, Himachal has already surpassed that statistics. But the only thing is that what kind of students we are really producing and in what sectors. Are these sectors relevant in terms of when we are talking of 2047 as a Viksit Bharat? Are these competence given to them by the agencies? If they are really, making them, either gaining or getting some jobs, or starting their own job. So those are the real questions. How much in the real sense vocational training is being imparted into the school, that's also a question. So those are my worries about it. But I'm sure that yes, as we said that, and we know it, that we have a lot of advantage of a demographic dividend with us. It is for us to see how efficiently we do these trainings in the vocational sector. So that's all, Dr. Saab, for this question. Is there anything else on this question?
Not really, but I was thinking how girls are going to benefit, with getting all these skills, apart from, of course, the regular education.
Well, if you see Himachal, I want to give you a perspective. If you see, the gender, ratio in the state of Himachal, we gained it quite a lot. We don't have that kind of a divide as our neighboring state like Haryana or others have. So we have absolutely no gender issues in the state of Himachal. That may have existed at one point of time, but I want to give some kind of statistics to you where, if we talk about, the number of girls enrolled in primary education, the total number is 478,000 in the primary education. When I say primary, that means from first standard to the fifth standard. And that out of this 478,000, 249 are boys and 228 are the girls. So we have absolutely, and if you place it against the statistics of our gender ratio in the states, there is absolutely no problem in this. So and now giving them the access to the schools, and the same statistics are there for upper primary, secondary, and higher secondary. So if you see the entire students, which is approximately 12 lakh, out of which 630 are the boys and around 6 are the girls. So and that is proportionate to the gender ratio we have in the state of Himachal. We have absolutely no problem in that, and I'm very happy when it comes to the dropout. The dropout in case of boys are much more than in case of girls. Okay. So that's again very happy news for the state, for a hilly state. I mean, that is what I think we absolutely have no problem when it comes to the gender divide in the state of Himachal. And we will take your questions later when it comes to the kind of facilities the state has generated, the kind of institution which are, specially meant for the girls in the far-flung area of the state.
That's commendable. That's highly commendable in itself. That girls from even remote areas, especially because in hilly regions it's very difficult to commute, to make way to schools. So I think that in itself shows that how much progress Samagra Shiksha has given to children, and especially like you say that girls, the ratio of boys dropping out is much more. Yeah. So that's really commendable. So
thank you. Thank you.
So now, moving on, how are we preparing teachers to adapt to this changing landscape, especially, in terms of pedagogy, training, and digital enablement?
Yeah, I mean, that's a challenge for us also. I mean, to be very honest, because Samagra, what does it do is that there are a mandate of Government of India that a lot of robotic labs are coming. A lot of, technology is coming to the state, ICTs we are getting smart classrooms, we are getting digital devices and other stuff in the state of Himachal. We are towards saturation, let me tell you, because the standard from Government of India is that if you have smart classroom in any school, if there are 2 classroom being place these equipment, that means 100%. So that's where we are always raising that we can't rotate our boys and girls from if they are in the class 11th and 12th. And the 7th standard teacher wants to take a class on a biology and demonstrate hard working. So her class has to be taken to the 12th, classroom. So those are the things, because those are the yardsticks from government of India. They say that if 2 of the classroom in a senior secondary schools are equipped with these smart classrooms, then that is done. That's a saturation. But we are now asking more on that. But the bigger challenge, as you rightly said, is not about the availability. That is about uses of it. And the uses comes because there was a huge problem, in the sense that somebody, when these vendors come, fix these equipments in a classroom, do a little training of a 3 days or a 4 days, to a teacher who is either computer teacher or a IT teacher in a school. And then it is his duty in turn to teach and train those other teachers who have to take classes on various subjects. So there are gaps. So and there is a definite fear among teachers when it comes to the uses of technology. And we were struggling with this. Then, as you know, that one of the technology which has come from Government of India to the state is a Vidya Samiksha Kendra. There, on the click of button, you know that how much these equipments are now being put to use. So the accountability has come. But we really need to, now we know how much in a particular school, how much these equipments have been put to use. So one, that we have to do training time and again. We need to ensure that these equipments being put to use, because the statistics suggest that only 20% or 30% equipments have actually been put to use. So which is not justifying the kind of money Government of India is spending on installing these equipments. And today only some state, when we were with the VC in the Government of India today, some state from Karnataka and others, that they were mentioning that having technology, how it has helped the pedagogies. You said pedagogy. So pedagogy is nothing, but it is giving experiential learning to the boys and girls, which NEP 2020 demands. And when you actually are good at technology, then it becomes much easier, to translate those contents of that particular chapter which you are taking on that particular day in a classroom. So,
Yes.
so that is what it is. But yes, we have thought, we are, working with the Central Square Foundation, which is full of all IITians and others. We are taking their help, that how to really overcome this kind of a fear among teachers, that how this technology can be put to use. And second, how these teachers can be best trained so that they don't have a fear tomorrow using the technology. So that's the second part. Though there are certain concerns and there are certain counterproductive stories from the neighboring state, Haryana, where they mentioned that technology, after using technology, the learning outcomes have gone down. But probably it has gone down because of the reasons I'm assigning, because the teachers are not putting it to use the way it should be actually used. It can be a very good alternative to any kind of a pedagogy you talk about. Talk about case study, you talk about storytelling, you talk about anything. But, when it comes to certain subjects, particularly to the sciences, the technology has a very important part, and that needs to be where the teacher need to be trained. That is what I personally feel.
Yes, very true, sir. Very true. So, moving on, sir, how does Samagra Shiksha plan to cater to the needs of special children? More specifically, in the case of a girl child, I think this is a question which I've really been wanting to, you to speak on.
Yeah. So this is a lovely question. And why this is lovely question? Because it is near to my heart. This
Yes,
subject is near to my heart.
I'm sure.
And, I always see this, that this is one area where education, it is not only the responsibility of education department, but the many departments need to be converged and converge better.
Absolutely.
You know, in a state, one department talking to another department is always a challenge. So this is one area where lot to be done by the health, lot to be done by the WCT, lot to be done by us. They have to be, you know, together if really they want that something should be done on this area.
Yes,
Because, you know, when we talk about the X number of, you know, because there are standards, there are international standards, you know, and that say that if you have X population in any state, then you should have, you know, Y number of special children in a state. So that is a, you know, thumb rule. So suppose there is a 1 lakh of population in a district, then that as per that thumb rule, there has to be say 10% or 12%, you know, have to be these boys and girls who fall under the category of these, you know, children with special needs. Now, what is happening, unfortunately, is that when we talk of the state of Himachal, we have around 5,900 odd students who are being recorded as and the part of the inclusive education in the state of Himachal. There might be some numbers which are with the, you know, children, this WCD, and maybe some NGOs must have some students with them. But mandate of national education policy, they have to be the part of inclusive education. So we have 5,900 odd students in the state who are the part as of now. But unfortunately, what is happening, Dr. Deepa Gupta, that, you know, the parents, they don't want to disclose it. They really don't want to send their boys and girls to the doctors. You know, they don't want to live with that kind of a stigma in the society. And when it comes to the girls, then it becomes more problematic because they say that हमारी तो बच्ची का शादी नहीं होगा if we disclose. अगर हम बोलेंगे कि बच्ची को autism है, तो वहां पे एक मैं यही आज भी मैं सेक्रेटरी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को यही कह रहा था कि ये आपके structural changes का हिस्सा नहीं है. There's a lot of need to be done when it comes to the awareness, sensitization, and other things. So which is much beyond the scope of, you know, your work being mandated to you. So that is one of the area and that's why this number is so low. And it's not with the Himachal, this with every state across the country.
Yes, I'm sure.
So that is one area. But yes, whatever we have, we are taking care of them. We have these kids in, you know, 21 disabilities, you know, who've been identified. And there are 1,800 or 1,900 odd numbers who cannot be brought to school and can't be made part of the school. That's beyond this 5,900 I'm talking about. And for them, you know, we are also thinking that how, you know, they be some kind of a special buses where all kind of their equipment, sporting devices can be kept and they can be brought at a block headquarters. Some special educators can go. At least they can interact with each other if they can be brought down. So that's on the card for the state of Himachal for those who cannot be part of the inclusive education. But for others, we have special educator and we are giving whatever minimum we can do. But another challenge in the state is that our special educator as of now are not the regular. Now, Ministry of Law and the Supreme Court has already directed all the states to, you know, take care of these students, appoint teachers on the regular basis. So we have drafted the recruitment and promotion rules. And by the end of this year, I think they will be all on the regular position to take care of these students.
I'm sure. As you rightly said, there are a lot of challenges other than what you're dealing with. Absolutely. Sensitization, yes, awareness also. And I think with education now being so spruced up, those things will eventually fall in line.
Yeah, I think so. Because, but as I said, that this is one area where you can't do justice with this area with the kind of that sarkari approach. I must say, you have to be really
Yes.
passionate about it.
Absolutely.
You can't deal with this area with the kind of, okay, I'm getting salary, I am going in the classroom doing something or other, and then come back home. You
Very
need
true.
to be much more on this area than the regular teaching, I think.
Very true. Very true, sir. That's something very nice you said. So, so as we move fast forward, if we fast forward to 2030, what does success in education field look like for Himachal?
As I said, that I'm worried about the quality of education in Himachal. If you see, I want to give you a perspective here. You see 2002 and now 2025. I have lost my 50% of students in favor of the private schools. So huge number. And actually moved out of the government schools to the private school. So we are trying to find out the reason what's wrong is happening. To be very honest with you, I studied from a government school, and I personally feel that the kind of, talking about Himachal, not talking about other state, where the most of the teachers are not the backdoor entries. They come through, certain exams.
Selection
They need to
process.
qualify, and the selection process is through subordinate service, public service commissions. They come through. So that means what? That means they have degrees. They have competence on their, when it comes to other BA degrees or other kind of degrees, whatever degrees they require. And then they have qualified exam. So that means what? They are competent teacher there. Vis-a-vis, when we talk of a private school, now I'm not talking about those Nami Grami schools of India. I'm talking of those schools which have been started in a nook and corner in certain rural areas where we really don't know who are these teachers who are teaching these students. But still, there is some kind of a trust which we have lost. So my biggest challenge in the state of Himachal to restore that trust. How can we get back these students? There's absolutely those boys and girls studying in a private school. There are boys and girls. I have no problem. But I have a problem with those schools who are not even, it's just the shops being opened and,
Very
now. So needs to be done something. That's my biggest challenge. And some of the schools have done it by showing their kind of work those schools have done. And I personally feel that if that trust needs to be restored among the society, among the parents, the only way is to give results. And the results, when you can make these learning outcome of the students, whosoever are with you, better. And when we are trying our level best to do that. I'm thankful to Government of India. We have a START project. Himachal was a part of the World Bank project, which was there in only 6 states across the country. And we got funding in that. And we also got funding in Samagra. We took our students who did good in their board exams, who did good in their sports and other. We took them to Singapore. We took them abroad. So Himachal took a lead where students from the Government of India funds. Punjab did it long time back, but they did it from the state fund. But we did it from Government of India fund. So Himachal that way was the first state to take their students. We took around 500 or 600 teachers to Singapore school. So we are doing whatever we can do. Then we have a very good innovative projects in Himachal where we are exposing our student to the entrepreneurship skills. We are exposing and on our students on many other things on a, we are talking of social, emotional, ethical learnings. We are giving them exposure on hardcore vocational institutes, across the country. So the state through Samagra is doing a lot of good things. Probably that these are the ways and means to restore those trust in the society, to get those students back in the government school. This is what my challenge is. If you see the entire statistics of the country, 69% of the students are still the part of the government school. That kind of mandate, we can always do much more. What I actually said right now, that we are doing few things, and the biggest thing we are doing is that we are creating the teachers training management system. And that is going to be, I think, bring a lot of changes where some kind of teacher, they send for trainings time and again. And we don't have any record of them who went last time, and they go again and again. And there are people who can't go even. So we are developing a teachers training management system, which is going to be very robust. Then we don't require a file. The director education on the click of button would know that how many times this teacher has gone, for what training it has gone. And there are a lot of platforms in Government of India. We have SCRT principal with us from Solan. And if ma'am, would you like to speak on this issue further? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
So what the question is that, how to restore the trust in the society about the government school. And the teachers can play a very important role. Their competence is vital. And so a lot of trainings we keep doing. There are certain limitations with the training. So whether you would like, we have Dr. Rajni, who is the principal of the SCRT with us. If you can speak on this more, Rajni.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to speak on this. Though you have already apprised the House about this, but still, yes, I agree with your opinion that the competency of teachers does matter. If the teachers, the parents have a trust in the competency of the teacher, in addition to the school environment, the entire ecosystem does matter. School environment has to be strengthened, in addition to building the capacity of teachers. And I think the scrutiny of the teachers need a serious thought while we go for teacher recruitments. I think the competency should be kept in mind. Only then we can restore the trust of the society. Though the government has done many initiatives have been taken, like implementing the English medium. That is a great initiative, sir. I think that was also one of the reasons that the parents were diverting from this government system to private school system. But since now government has implemented the medium of English, medium of instruction as English in government school as well, I feel that it may take time to restore the original. It would definitely help in attracting the students and parents back to the government schools, because this always remains one of the reasons that most of the parents, those who even have belong to even lower income group, they prefer to admit their ward in a private school just for the sake of that their ward speaks English, knows English well. So I think that one of the initiative that would in long run help in restoring the strength in government schools. And one more, as I already told you, teacher competency, no doubt, is required. And at the same time, I would like to add, sir, like in primary schools in our state, we need to ensure the one teacher, one class ratio. This, if this is done, I think that would help to build a trust as well as confidence among parents that their ward will be taken care of. Because in present scenario, there are some schools where there are only 1 or 2 teachers in primary schools. I think that also, that this factor also is one of the reasons that sometimes parents do not choose the government school for giving the opportunity. This is all I have to say.
I mean, you flagged the issue. I just forgot a issue. I mean, which is very well debatable. I'm sure Dr. Deepa and Ma'am Meenakshi may not have, in line with the kind of argument Dr. Rajani was saying that. Opting the medium of instruction, that is English, is helping, and parents, it is the aspirations of every parents in rural area.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. That's,
so I don't know.
was what I was saying. No, no,
that
no.
is, yeah. So I don't know how do you take it, but we had, this year we decided. And then the biggest challenge was, when it comes to the medium of instruction as English, we need to really train our teachers accordingly. So a lot of funding has actually gone from Samagra to train these junior basic teachers on English language. And let me tell you is that we are working a project on the teachers training with Convigenous. And Convigenous in turn is tied up with the Cambridge University, where the Cambridge people are going to train our teachers in the state of Himachal. So that's one issue I thought that let me also flag it. Another issue to this was that we also decided that we should get rid of that kind of dresses, which we used to wear, a khaki shirt and a khaki pant and a white, and for the girls it's a white pajama and some kind of a shirt. So we said we should not, and we allowed the government of Himachal took a decision and allowed all the schools to choose their own dress. So this vendor-driven agenda of a dress is also gone in Himachal. And I tell you that yesterday only I met my Honorable Chief Minister on Mall, because a mall is a very common place in Shimla. It's unlike Delhi, but sometime, of course, in Connaught Place you may encounter your CMs or the PM. I don't know how frequently they come, but in the state like Himachal, where you get all ministers and the Honorable CM also on Mall, so he was there and he said, "Ki Rajesh, I was very happy." कि वो छोटा शिमला स्कूल जो हमारा गवर्नमेंट स्कूल है उनकी बच्चियां मैं देख रहा था, दे वर वेरी गुड लुकिंग गर्ल्स, क्योंकि उनका ड्रेस चेंज कर दिया, तो दैट्स अ वेरी गुड डिसीजन. तो वो पहले, हाँ, तो उस तरह के कुछ डिसीजंस लिए गए हैं मैम. आई डोंट नो, दे आर डिबेटेबल. पीपल कैन से कि यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं है, पीपल कैन से कि अंग्रेजी से क्या हो जाता है, बट
these are very valid points, sir. Mr. Sharma, these are very, very valid points, and I am so impressed with all the insights that you are giving us. All this is really impressive and very insightful. I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to hear you today.
Thank you very much.
And get so much insight about what Samagra Shiksha is, how things are being done, and these little things, which are very important Like, uniform also is such an important part of school-going children. So this is very interesting to know. These little details you don't get to see anywhere unless we hear from the right person.
So you said indigenous, your platform of this Express group. I mean, that's going to bring all these on the, even you will get it in Delhi now.
Definitely.
Deepa, I would like to come in here. Sir, I come from the state of Bihar now. Now it's Jharkhand, but there's a residential school called Netarhat School. And it's a Hindi medium school. And at one point of time, most of the IAS and IPS officers belong to that school. And it is a Hindi medium school. I think till now it is a Hindi medium school. And it was supposed to be one of the best government schools the state had, even though Hindi was the medium of instruction. But now I understand that English is aspirational. Like Rajni ma'am said that, parents do want their children to learn in English as a medium of instruction. That is heartening to know that, there are little details which come in, which we don't see every day, we don't hear about every day. And school uniforms, especially for girls, sir, they make a lot of difference.
I'm going to upload few, dresses
Pictures.
to you tomorrow.
Pictures.
That'll be great.
That'll be nice. That'll be nice. And on this note, I'd like to thank you, sir, for all your insights, for giving us such interesting details about education system and all that you are doing in Himachal. And I'd now like to invite Meenakshi to please take over from here. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to interact with you.
Pleasure is mine, Dr. Deepa Gupta.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Meenakshi. I'm representing the Indian Express. So I was really delighted to know that, you actually understand, that sarkari concept ke aage jana hai. And also I would like to add that, sometimes we see numbers, we see that there are various surveys that are conducted and we only get to know, oh, government schools piche hain. We don't get to know details like the uniform bit, details like how the focus is now being turned to English as medium of instruction, and following what actually those surveys bring in, apart from those numbers. So continuing with that, I would like to know, sir, from a policy and government lens, how is your state addressing gaps in equity and access in remote and tribal areas through Samagra Shiksha, sir? Since it is a hilly state.
Yeah, I mean, when we are talking of equity, I have already addressed when Dr. Deepa Gupta was asking certain question with respect to the equities. But let me tell you that in terms of when we talk of equity, in terms of the girls in the remote areas, in tribal area, lot has been done. We have through Samagra only, we have these schools called Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, which have there are 14 number of school in the state of Himachal. They are all located in the tribal districts and aspirational district of Himachal, that is Chamba district. And these are all residential school for the girls. So this gives access to all those girls who come from a socio-economic background where they're not much of sport in their family for teaching and all. So they're all residential schools. So the right from their khana, pina, rehna, dresses, padhana, and fees or everything that is borne by the government of India and the state government. And if you get a chance, come over to the school sometime. We have I don't know whether she's with us. We have Dr. Manjula, who is our nodal officer on Nipun and other things. She is also looking after this particular intervention. And today she was there in Chamba. Manjula, can you hear me? Is Manjula there? I think
sir,
there is.
is traveling, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, thank God you are there.
Yes, sir.
So kindly show
Sir,
your
I
background.
one more.
We have Meenakshi from Indian Express, and the question to you is that how equity in access is being addressed in the remotest part of Himachal. So Manjula is the authority on education. She is a part of Samagra Shiksha from the day one. So where are you, Manjula? Tell us. Are you coming back on still in Chamba?
Sir, Bharmor.
Or is a tribal district, Meenakshi ji and Dr. Deepa Gupta, and she is there. So connectivity will be a problem. But I would love that Manjula speak on this. This question is to you now, and can you show some of the pictures in the background?
Oh my God. That's the river flowing, is it?
Oh, Ravi, sorry.
सर आपकी आवाज कट के आ रही है, मुझे आ नहीं रही है पूरी।
चलो आप बोलिए, आप जो कुछ बोलना चाहते हो।
सर मैं कल से आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर।
हमें आप बोलिए, आ रही है आपकी आवाज, हम सुन पा रहे हैं आपको।
सर मैं कल तीसा गई थी, सलूनी गई, बहुत सारी जगह में गई जहां 100 लड़कियों के लिए केजीबीवी है और 100 के 100 केजीबीवी में लड़कियां एनरोल हो गई हैं। ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और मैं ये बताना चाहूंगी जो लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं कि सभी केजीबीवी में हमारे समग्र शिक्षा से सर के नेतृत्व में सर के की जो दूरदर्शिता है उसमें हमने वहां पे वर्चुअल रियलिटी लैब्स लगा रखे हैं, एस्टेब्लिश की है, लैंग्वेज लैब एस्टेब्लिश की है, साइंस लैब जो पूरी कंट्री में शायद किसी भी केजीबीवी में नहीं है। सो मैम मुझे लगता है कि ये हमारे ही स्टेट में हो रहा है और बच्चे उसको यूज कर रहे हैं, ये ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है बोलना। बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो इतने खुश हुए और मैं सर कुछ रिकॉर्डिंग भी लाई थी जिसमें आपके लिए सर बच्चों ने थैंक्स बोला है। मुझे पूछ रहे थे ये किसने भेजा, मैंने कहा मैं शक्ल दिखा देती हूँ, बाकी अभी नहीं बता पाऊंगी। तो बच्चे सर यहाँ पे भी बैठे हैं ऊपर और बहुत इंजॉय कर रहे हैं।
दिखाओ अगर
इतने स्मार्ट बच्चे हैं।
बच्चे जैसे मैम की बात करा सकें तब तो बहुत ही अच्छा हो जाएगा। तो दैट इज द बेस्ट।
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल सर। सर आपने सभी बच्चियों के लिए 4 लॉन्ड्री मशीन दे रखी हैं, क्लास वाइज लॉन्ड्री मशीन सबके पास है सर, वो यूज करती हैं सभी बच्चियां सर अपने अपने जगह में बहुत इंजॉय कर रही हैं। मैं
आई एम वेरी हैप्पी। अगर बच्चे दिखा सकते हो मंजुला, कैन यू हियर मी?
बिल्कुल सर, मैं दिखा रही हूँ, दिखाने जा रही हूँ।
बच्चों से बात करवा सके तो बहुत ही बढ़िया है। मैडम भी बात कर सकती है, मैडम सीधा प्रश्न पूछ सकती हैं हमसे।
सर को नमस्ते बोलो।
उनकी फोटो नहीं आ रही है मंजुला, दीवारों की फोटो आ रही है। बच्चों का पिक्चर अगर आए सामने, बच्चे। या नमस्ते बेटा।
आ जाओ सारे बच्चे, आ जाओ, दौड़ के आ जाओ सारे, दौड़ के आओ बेटा।
We're so happy to be on camera.
Yeah.
अब मीनाक्षी आप इनसे प्रश्न पूछिए।
जी नमस्ते।
नमस्ते मैम।
कैसे हो आप? पूछने कैसे हो आप सब? वो पूछ रहे हैं सर आप कैसे हो?
मैं ठीक हूँ बेटा, वेरी गुड। आपसे इंडियन एक्सप्रेस ग्रुप के एडिटर हैं, वो कुछ प्रश्न पूछेंगे बेटा, जवाब देना।
वो कह रहे हैं आप सब इधर आओ तभी क्वेश्चन करो।
वेरी स्मार्ट।
वो बहुत दूर से आए हैं, दूर है, तो वहीं से क्वेश्चन करेंगे, ठीक है? आप सुनो और आप उसका जवाब दोगे, ठीक है? जो आपसे पूछेंगे आप उसका जवाब दोगे।
कनेक्टिविटी होगी तो ये जवाब देंगे आप। मीनाक्षी जी पूछिए।
जी सर। मैं भी हॉस्टल में रहा करती थी जब मैं क्लास 8th और 9th 10th में थी, फिर मैं कॉलेज में भी हॉस्टल में रहती थी। तो जैसे मैम ने बोला कि आपके पास लॉन्ड्री मशीन्स हैं, हमारे पास नहीं हुआ करती थी, हमें कपड़े खुद धोने पड़ते थे। तो ये बहुत ही बड़ी बात है कि आपके लिए पढ़ाई के लिए टाइम बचता है।
धोते हो कपड़े? बोलो हम अपने कपड़े खुद धोते हैं। कब धोते हो कपड़े? धोते हो संडे को धोते हो। और जो छोटी बेटी है उनके कपड़े कौन धोता है? हेल्प करवाते हैं। कौन हेल्प करवाता है आप में से? 9th क्लास के बच्चे, सीनियर क्लास के बच्चे, छोटी।
अच्छा बेटा, कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है तुम लोगों को? कोई समस्या है तो बताओ बच्चे। नहीं, आवाज नहीं आ रही है बेटा क्लियर। एक बच्चा बोले कि क्या समस्या है। कोई नहीं है। वेरी गुड यार, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी। है
सर एस्ट्रोनॉमी लैब के लिए थैंक यू। वो बड़े खुश है सर उससे। वो अति में खुश है सर, बहुत यूज करते हैं वो। लैंग्वेज लैब भी मिल गई। बोलना सीख रहे हो अच्छे से? ज्यादा बोलना तो नहीं सीख रहे? बहुत अच्छा, बहुत मैं दिखाती हूँ। ये है सर बच्चे।
It's quite a big facility, sir.
Yeah, and in such a beautiful, like it's such a beautiful space, a place to stay. I mean, so beautiful.
Let me tell you, ma'am, this is one of the tribal area of Chamba district.
It's so encouraging to see these children.
Yeah. My God, you can see a river out of your school.
Yeah. Yes. And to study in such environment, so beautiful.
Thank you, Manjula. Thanks, Manjula.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And,
Thank you.
So commendable. So commendable.
Just
a suggestion here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Deepa, you should cover this school as a story.
Yes, of course it deserves. Like Mr. Sharma said that, you know, we are going to be getting a lot of such stories from the entire Himachal. I mean, this is so beautiful and so commendable, the kind of work he's doing. And I really like, you know, the way his vision is not just, you know, relegated to the government structure. His vision is beyond that. When he talks of sensitization and when he talks of, you know, that is a very beautiful part of his entire persona and how he perceives the things around. It's not easy to come up with this kind of development in Himachal. You know, hilly regions have their own problems.
Yes.
Let's have a section on the inspirational stories actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please carry on.
So, ma'am Meenakshi, I think the question you raised has been answered.
Absolutely.
On access, on equity, even on the inclusion of genders and all.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really heartening to see that, sir.
Yes.
You must go. Come over to Chamba sometime. There's a beautiful place.
Thank you for the invitation, sir. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much. Moving on to my next question. So how has Himachal responded to, I'll come to the gender inclusion bit. Particularly, I would particularly talk about the middle and secondary level schools. So when the girls are, you know, as we more or less know that they are not given the priority to continue their education during this level.
As I said, that we have been appreciated, and while I was responding to Dr. Deepa's question on this, that Himachal that way is absolutely not a worry. Some signs when we see the dropout rates of students in Himachal, we have more number of boys getting dropped out than the girls getting dropped out. I don't see, that era is gone now. That must be in early 2000s or in 90s, where there were pressures from the parents. That is also getting disappeared in the state of Himachal. So it's not a very worrisome sign. And the statistics suggest so. It's not that I'm saying. The statistics show that our boys are much more than the number of girls getting dropped out at a at a secondary level or at a senior secondary level. So only I think there's a dropout which is marginal to 1 to 2% or 3%. That's the only dropout, and that dropout is not because of certain societal pressures or something. Sometimes it happens that the students are not picking up or they are not good at studies, and then we have an alternative for them also. What we are doing, we are providing them a kind of a vocational trainings, and we have set up vocational labs in the far-flung areas of Himachal, where these boys or girls who are getting dropped out being brought back to get them in the mainstream. What we do initially, we get them in these labs, give them and impart them some kind of a vocational skill sets, and then many of them then again being brought back to the mainstream of education. So that is how we are dealing with them in the remote areas.
It's good to know that there's a plan for these students as well. Students who drop out can be brought back into the system through the vocational courses. It's good to know, sir. Also, have you seen any measurable outcomes or impact indicators that you and your team are looking at or prioritizing over the next year, sir?
Yeah, so one of the parameters now Government of India has for every state, that is what now they call it Parak. They earlier used to call it NAS. And NAS and the PGI both actually provide you the yardsticks, where you are assessed on both component, which is biotic and abiotic. When I say biotic, I mean the areas which pertains to the teachers, students, and when I say abiotic, I mean the physical part of it. We are talking of physical infrastructures in the school, the kind of water facilities in the schools. For girls, there are incinerators, there are sanitary pads, there are, self-defense kind of interventions. So there are n number of things which pertains with the physical resources and physical infrastructure. And of course, many more pertains to the teachers and the students. So we have these yardsticks on the basis of which every state is being assessed by Government of India, and so are we. As I said, my worry was that when I joined here 2.5 years back, we could not spend the money, the expenditure, because one of the area is that we are talking about the 6% of the GDP should go in education. That's still not happening, but whatever is happening, 3 to 4% coming from Government of India through Samagra to all the states, be not spent fully, because there are issues of the capacities of spending this money in the state. So one of the major issue which we had in the past, that we could not spend even 50% to 60% of the money which we got under the World Bank project or the Samagra project, and now also from the PM Shri project. So in the last 2 years, what we have done is that we have spent 99% of that money. So that's one of the yardstick of a Government of India to assess you. Apart from that, as I said, we are towards saturation in terms of ICT, smart classrooms. We are also 90% plus in every, whether it comes to the science lab, and it comes to the other labs, or it comes to the science rooms, it comes to the sports goods, it comes to the playground. So in all the yardsticks of infrastructure assessment from Government of India, we are towards saturation. So that's a good point. And I tell you that this year's NAS is going to be out on 2nd. I'll be in Delhi. All the states have been called. And I'm sure that the initial understanding which they have shared with us that show that Himachal from 21 place in the 3rd standard exam which Government of India has taken in terms of the learning outcomes, Himachal is stood 2nd in the entire country. So that is the 3rd standard. 6th standard, we are at number 5. And in 9th standard, we are at number 4. So these are the learning outcome yardsticks, and these I keep it in my mind. Now the only thing we will come to know, putting these both infrastructures and teachers, students, things. The result will be out on 2nd, and then I'm surely going to call both of you and inform you that what is our rank from. If it was 21 last, and where we are going to land this time. So I'm sure that we emerge in first 5 or 6 in the country, and if that happens, it is going to be a big jump for the state of Himachal.
I'm sure.
Sure, sir. All the best for it. So in terms of partnerships, let's say media, the civil societies, and now more technology platforms, what kind of partnership do you see are essential to the scale of the vision of the program, sir?
I mean, to be very honest with you, when it comes to the educational landscape, nothing is possible with the kind of parameters we are talking about. There are certain things, when it comes to the 21st century skill sets, where we are talking about making our students aware on the climate change issues. We are talking about greening the schools, where we are talking about the emotional aspects. We are talking about ethical aspects. We are talking about social aspects. We are talking about resilience. We are talking about a number of things which are a very integral component of the 21st century skills and very deeply embedded in our national education policies. So when you are talking of these parameters, they are much beyond the capacity of our regular teacher who are teaching certain subjects. And it is also practically impossible to imbibe all these parameters in the existing curriculums. Right. So what is happening that we are already tied up with the, I think 25 NGOs are there who are working with the state of Himachal on these parameters. But yes, we have a Avanti, foundation who does a lot of things. We are tied up with UNESCO. You are tied up with UNICEF. We are tied with a number of. We are also working a program with the Piramal Foundation on social, emotional, ethical learning, and that is governed by, and that is actually being governed by the Dalai Lama's teaching. And the Emory University US has designed a curriculum for that. That's going to be imparted in the school of Himachal Pradesh. So I think these, multilateral or bilateral or, the various societies in the field of various organizations in the field of education are required if you really want to do a holistic development of education in any state as in the present context. So this is what I thought that. But yes, this concept of tying up with you is really special for me, because I not only that it is going to be, as I said, a breeding ground for those young boys and girls in the school to opt your fields, but also this is going to bring a lot of hidden stories from those far-flung areas to the at least to the table of the directors, to the table of the secretaries, to the table of the chief minister, to the table of education minister. And with kind of your presence across the world, it can actually become, any news can become what you call a breaking news. So I mean, this is all I wanted to say, and I am really grateful to you, and I'm also grateful to Tyagiji that he spoke on this, and very soon we are going to we will launch it from the office of the chief minister.
Sure, sir. My last question will be about NEP, which has put a strong emphasis on foundational literacy. And you did say that literacy in Himachal Pradesh is not, again, an issue. But how are we embedding that within classrooms in the state, especially the remote ones where access and, let's say, context differ?
Manjula, are you there? Because she is the authority on the, and she's doing this for a very long time. Manjula, are you there with us, or you have left? Manjula?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Manjula, you are authority on, I don't want to say कि असर का रिपोर्ट आप ही बात करें. पूरे नेशनल रिपोर्ट प्रथम ने असर का दिया है अभी कुछ दिन पहले, and Himachal has emerged as one of the top state. So that is my only response. But rest Manjula is going to talk about कि आप इस तरह की स्टेट में और far flung areas में, remote areas में, where technology, where internet and other, there are issues. So how do you deal with FLN thing and foundational literacy? Manjula.
सर, पिछले कल में यहाँ टांजू एरिया है, बहुत इंटीरियर एरिया है, सलूनी एरिया है, वहां गई थी, और तीसा के एरिया में स्कूल के प्राइमरी स्कूल्स में भी गई. मैं पीछे से पूछ रही थी कि कोई समस्या लैंग्वेज से लेकर के प्राइमरी लेवल पे जब बच्चा आता है कि नहीं है, कहीं आपको लगता हो. वो कहने लगे कि हमारे यहाँ पे हिमाचल में एक ही खासियत है कि बच्चे हर घर में हिंदी बोली जाती है, चाहे वो बहुत ज्यादा हिंदी बोली जाती है. So they use indigenous toys if there is some challenges. Indigenous toys, stories, riddles and songs in their local language. Teachers जो है to facilitate learning of children. और दूसरी बात ये है सर कि लोकल डायलेक्ट में शुरू में टीचर्स क्योंकि लोकल हैं तो बात करते हैं, चाहे वो किन्नौर में है, चाहे वो लाहौल स्पीति में है, चाहे वो चंबा में है, लोकल है प्राइमरी लेवल पर टीचर्स, क्योंकि डिस्ट्रिक्ट कार्डर है और वो अपने अपने जगह पे काम करते हैं, तो कोई समस्या आती नहीं है. तो बच्चे वो लोकल लैंग्वेज से आगे बढ़ते हैं सर. तीसरी बात, टॉय बेस्ड पेडागोजी पर एम्फसाइज किया जाता है ताकि स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज पे आने से पहले वो बच्चे जो है खेल खेल में जो घर में खेलते हैं उन टॉय से ही कुछ सीखें. 1 टॉय, 2 टॉय, 3 टॉय, 4 टॉय, तो मतलब वो गिनती भी सीख रहे हैं, खेल भी रहे हैं और कुछ कुछ एक्टिविटीज भी कर रहे हैं. सो फार फ्लंग एरिया में भी सर हमारे यहाँ पे निपुण के अंतर्गत जो फैसिलिटीज आपने प्रोवाइड की पिछले 3 सालों में, इतना टीचिंग लर्निंग मटेरियल है कि टीचर्स जो हैं बहुत मजे से, मतलब वो प्रिंट रिच मटेरियल क्लासरूम में होता है हर प्राइमरी स्कूल में. दूर दराज में जाकर के देख लिया सर, सब जगह बहुत अच्छा मटेरियल है जिससे बच्चे खेलते हैं, सीखते हैं, तो कोई समस्या नहीं होती. सो सर
IIT गांधीनगर से आप टाई अप हो इस पे?
सर अभी हमने, जैसा कि सर आप बता ही रहे हैं, हमने IIT गांधीनगर से कोलैबोरेशन में उन्होंने एक FLN बॉक्स वंडर बॉक्स बनाया है जो टेस्टेड है स्कूलों में, उसको पायलट किया गया है, रिसर्च बेस्ड है। तो उसमें फाउंडेशनल लर्निंग की कुछ एक्टिविटीज दी गई हैं जो NCERT ने अपना खेल पिटारा बनाया था उससे अलाइन की गई हैं। तो वो वंडर बॉक्स हम वहां से ले रहे हैं और स्कूलों में वो पहुंचना शुरू हो गया है सर। तो वंडर बॉक्स से भी टीचर पढ़ाएंगे, वो ऑनलाइन उनका ट्रेनिंग भी करवाएंगे। वैसे टीचर्स की इतनी ट्रेनिंग होती है कि, और दूसरा हमने कई ऐसे फाउंडेशन जैसे संपर्क फाउंडेशन से की एक ट्रेनिंग कल मैंने देखी सर, वो मैथमेटिक्स किट टीचर को दे रहे थे, साथ में वो जैसे उन्होंने उनको किट प्रोवाइड की साथ में ट्रेनिंग भी दी। वो 1 घंटे की ट्रेनिंग देते हैं फिर वो किट देते हैं। तो टीचर्स जो है इतने इक्विप्ड है कि वो क्लासरूम में जब बच्चा आता है जैसे वो एंटर करता है, और मुझे लगता है कि यही वजह है कि हिमाचल प्रदेश ने फाउंडेशनल लर्निंग में जो है 2nd पोजीशन लिया है पूरे इंडिया में मैथ्स में। यही एक कारण होगा। मुझे अपने आप में भी ये लगा, जब मैं स्कूलों में गई तो टीचर्स को कोई समस्या आ ही नहीं रही थी कि मैडम हर मटेरियल है, रेफरेंस मटेरियल की कमी नहीं है, ये अब हमारे में कमी है अगर हम पढ़ाएंगे नहीं। तो सर जो मेरे हिसाब से लगता है प्राइमरी लेवल पर, फाउंडेशनल लेवल पर, वो पिछले 10 सालों में बहुत ज्यादा एम्फेसाइज किया, फोकस किया गया है कि अगर हमारी प्राइमरी बेस सही होगी तो ऊपर की फाउंडेशन भी। और बहुत सारी जो NGOs जैसे प्रथम हमारे साथ काम करिए, संपर्क हमारे साथ काम करिए, देवी फाउंडेशन हमारे साथ, अलग अलग फाउंडेशन भी हमारी सपोर्ट करती है कि इसको अच्छे से इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा सके स्कूलों में। हम स्वयं तो बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज कर ही रहे हैं, जैसा कि गांधीनगर से TLM लेना, ट्रेनिंग करवाना, वर्क बुक्स बनवाना, वर्क बुक स्कूलों में देना। हमारे यहाँ पे 2 टीचर स्कूल है, 2 टीचर में से अगर एक टीचर की कहीं ड्यूटी लग जाती है तो एक टीचर रह जाता है। अब वो टीचर कैसे स्कूल में सबको हैंडल करे? तो मल्टीग्रेड सिचुएशन में वो एक क्लास को वर्क बुक देता है काम करने में बच्चों को, दूसरी क्लास में पढ़ाता है, तीसरी क्लास में वो पीयर लर्निंग के लिए भेज देता है। तो इस तरह से वो टैकल करते हैं क्लासरूम को सर। तो ये सब चीजें पिछले 10 सालों से चल रही थी, पर 3-4 साल में बहुत ज्यादा इसमें एम्फेसाइज किया गया और उसका रिजल्ट आज देखने को मिल रहा है, जो आप देख ही रहे होंगे। एविडेंस हमने अपने आप भी कुछ सर्वे किए थे, बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट है। लेकिन सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट होता है जब हमें बाहर से आकर के कोई टेस्ट करता है और वो कहता है कि आप टॉप 2 पोजीशन में है, तो वो सामने दिखता है सर।
Congratulations, Manjula, your efforts on foundational education has started showing results. I think, Ma'am Meenakshi, I think your question is being responded by Manjula on this.
Absolutely, sir. And I'm really, it's surprised to know that those kind of equipment or those kind of toys that we, as a mother, I saw when my daughter was in school, that's being used in government schools. That's commendable. That's also a kind of thinking that is not only in the mainstream and is being brought to the far-flung areas of the state. And I think that also would help in some time in kind of getting everything together. One would say that, teachers, I'm sure, would say that, we are teaching with the same equipment, same kind of things that other teachers teach in bigger cities, in urban areas.
Yeah, so I will ask Manjula kindly, the students who are involved in sciences, they, and even other disciplines, आप इनको इस बार IIT गांधीनगर प्रोफेसर जैन साहब के पास लेके जाइए और उनकी लैब में उनको कराइए, उनसे 2-3 दिन का एक्सपोजर जो भी है। तो माय रिक्वेस्ट टू यू वुड बी काइंडली टेक देम टू IIT गांधीनगर, जहाँ से हमने ये
IIT गांधीनगर से ये लड़कियां जुड़ी हुई हैं। ये सारी लड़कियां IIT गांधीनगर से जुड़ी हुई हैं। रोज एक्टिविटीज होती हैं सर वहां पर, और वो IIT गांधीनगर के जो साइंटिस्ट है वो इनको एक्टिविटीज करवाते हैं। एक क्यूरियोसिटी किट हम
मंजुला एक्सपोजर पे, दे वुड लव टू गो टू गुजरात।
बिल्कुल,
वो स्टैचू
बिल्कुल
वो दिखाइए, यूनिटी, और इन जगहों पे लेकर के जाइए इस बार।
सर आज एक बेटी का बर्थडे है जिसको यहाँ मनाया जा रहा है।
अच्छा, वेरी हैप्पी बर्थडे बेटा।
Very happy birthday.
बेटा आप बहुत लकी हो, इतने बड़े बड़े लोग आपको हैप्पी बर्थडे बोल रहे हैं। थैंक यू बोलो।
गॉड ब्लेस यू बच्चे, गॉड ब्लेस यू।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू बेटा,
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू बेटा, थैंक यू मंजुला।
This was
Thank
such an interesting interaction, you know, so interesting. It's an
मैंने कहा
eye
मेरी
opener.
बात करके आप बोर हो जाओगे।
नहीं नहीं,
Let me involve you.
बिल्कुल भी
And
नहीं,
luckily
ऐसी
she
बात
has
नहीं
gone
है.
to Chamba. Luckily
These
she
are
is in Chamba.
You know, Mr. Sharma, these are eye openers actually for us. You know, these are hidden stories. These are completely hidden.
जी मैम। And this Professor Jain, can you believe he is also very passionate on education? He came back from US. He started one center in IIT Gandhinagar where he is sensitizing teachers and he's telling certain things which is very for us also. कई बार तो लगता है कि हमें ये पता ही नहीं था. He is telling us for the first time कि जब PT उषा जो चौथे नंबर पे आई थी उस समय, वो एक्चुअली चौथे पे नहीं थी, वो तीसरे पे होनी थी, लेकिन वो जो साउंड जिस स्पीड से ट्रेवल करती है और जिस पे वो खड़ी थी, वहां तक उस साउंड में पहुंचने में जो समय लगा और जो सामने सामने खड़ी थी उसके पास वो साउंड पहले पहुंच गई, इसलिए वो उससे उतने फ्रैक्शन ऑफ सेकंड में वो तीसरे नंबर पे आई. So that person is actually in continuous touch with these girls in Chamba.
How nice.
जी, जी.
It was really nice to talk to you, sir. Really heartening, and to see the girls enjoying themselves in such a beautiful place. It's really nice, commendable. Thank you for being part of our session, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you so much, sir. And thank you, Deepa ma'am and Meenakshi ma'am, for that deeply enriching exchange. And even a greater thank you to Dr. Manjula for showing us the progress that has been made so far. And we hope this continues in the future as well. So far, we have encountered questions from our media experts. We have a lot of principals and students who have joined us here. A lot of them have asked questions in the chat box. मैं ये भी बताना चाहूँगा सबको कि हमारे साथ यहाँ पे YouTube से भी काफी viewers जुड़े हुए हैं, तो उनके भी हम questions उठाएंगे. So, sir, we have a few questions for you from educators and principals. So, एक तो यही chat box पे आया है from Gitika Sharma, and she is asking, how can technology and innovative science help students in their studies, and how fast can it spread?
हाँ जी, SCRT प्रिंसिपल मैम बताएं, ये आपका मैंडेट है. मैम इज देयर, रजनी मैम.
यस सर.
हाँ तो
Yes, sir.
नलिन दोबारा से प्रश्न पूछ लो एक बार.
प्लीज सर.
हाँ जी मैम. तो मैम गीतिका शर्मा है, and she is asking, how can
Yes.
technology and innovative science help students in their studies, and how fast can it spread?
So definitely this is the era for technology and innovation, because to survive in 21st century, students need early exposure to technology as well as innovative sciences. So in our schools, we need our students to expose and to familiarize and to make them competent in the use of technology as well as innovative sciences, so that they can successfully survive as well as excel in their careers, in their lives.
Yes, ma'am. Truly, I truly agree that आजकल एज ही टेक्नोलॉजी पे बहुत बेस्ड है, एंड आजकल मैक्सिमम काम आपका टेक्नोलॉजी पे ही चलता है. तो डेफिनेटली स्टूडेंट्स को in their not only in their studies but even in their overall lives, ये टेक्नोलॉजी will play a better role. But since आज हम स्कूल एजुकेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, तो you gave a pretty commendable answer to that. So thank you so much, ma'am. We will move on to the next question if sir is with us in the meeting.
Well, sir is in the middle of a call. Just hold for 5 minutes, right?
All right. So we will wait for 5 more minutes till sir rejoins. Till then, आपके किसी के भी questions है, principals, students, you can please go ahead with your questions. We'll wait for 5 minutes or so.
Please. हाँ जी, हाँ नलिन बताओ, सॉरी.
ओके नो वरी सर, मैम ने तो आंसर कर ही दिया था क्वेश्चन जो पूछा था, एंड क्वाइट काफी एप्ट आंसर था. सो टिल देन हम अगला क्वेश्चन पकड़ते हैं. दिस इज फ्रॉम शिवांजलि आई गेस, and she is asking you particularly ki, sir, what advice do you have for students from small towns and villages who want to make big differences through education?
फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट फेथ इन, आप अपने में विश्वास रखें और अपने में ट्रस्ट रखें, और ये विश्वास रखें कि आप अगर छोटे गांव से और कस्बे से भी आते हैं तो आप जिंदगी में अपनी जिंदगी के अलावा बहुत सारे लोगों की जिंदगी में बहुत बड़े बदलाव ला सकते हैं. और ये मेरा आपको, और कोई भी इस तरह की कोई चीज नहीं होती कि कोई बच्चा जो है वो मेड्रास से पढ़ रहा है या दिल्ली से पढ़ रहा है, वो आपसे उसके पास बड़े एडवांटेज हैं. आज की डेट में टेक्नोलॉजी और एक्सेस टू टेक्नोलॉजी हर घर तक है, और पर्टिकुलरली हिमाचल में जहाँ पे जो हमारे स्टैटिस्टिक्स सुजेस्ट करते हैं कि हमारे जो पेनिट्रेशंस हैं मोबाइल का, वो 90% प्लस घरों में आज की डेट में है, और उसमें बॉयज के पास तो मेरा ख्याल 97 के करीब है, और बच्चियों के पास मेरा ख्याल है 94 या 93 के करीब है. दैट काइंड ऑफ पेनिट्रेशन इज देयर. तो आपको एक्सेस तो है ही है. अगर कोई चीज कहीं पे भी होती है, जितनी जल्दी वो दिल्ली पहुंचती है वो आपके पास भी पहुंचती है बेटा. सिर्फ ओनली थिंग आई वांट टू से कि अपने में विश्वास रखें, अपने उद्देश्य को स्पेल आउट करें, और फिर उस उद्देश्य का पीछा करें पूरी कमिटमेंट के साथ.
कि डेडिकेशन तो चाहिए होती है, एंड यू हैव टू स्टिक टू योर प्लान्स एंड प्रिंसिपल्स इफ यू वांट टू सक्सीड. तो स्पीकिंग ऑफ दैट, उसी टॉपिक पे रहते हुए वी हैव भाविका ठाकुर. शी इज आस्किंग, एंड आई थिंक आपसे बेटर इस क्वेश्चन को यहाँ पे और कोई एड्रेस नहीं कर पाएगा, कि एट विच एज शुड वी स्टार्ट आवर प्रिपरेशन फॉर यूपीएससी?
हाँ, दैट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. आई मीन जब हम थे तो हमें तो पता नहीं होता ना कि कब यूपीएससी चीज क्या होती है. तो 12वीं तक तो 11वीं तक तो यही पता नहीं होता था. फिर वो पता तब चलता था क्योंकि तब टेक्नोलॉजी थी नहीं और हमारे पास इतना एक्सेस भी नहीं था. लेकिन आज की डेट में अगर पहली बात तो बेटा मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि जो हम लोग अब हिमाचल में करने वाले हैं, मुझे लगता है उसकी पूरे देश के सभी स्कूलों में ये जरूरत है. और काउंसलिंग इज वेरी वेरी क्रिटिकल एंड इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट, क्योंकि हम लोगों का यूपीएससी एक उसका विषय हो सकता है, लेकिन लाइफ में अगर हम स्कूलों में काउंसलिंग जिसको आप कहते हैं कि माइंड मैपिंग करके, जो आजकल साइंटिफिक वेज एंड मीन्स हैं, साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट हैं और पता नहीं क्या क्या चीजें हैं, एंड बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस और नामी ग्रामी कंपनियां भारतवर्ष में भी इस काम को आसानी से कर रही है, और समग्र भारत सरकार की तरफ से पैसा देता है. तो स्कूलों में मुझे लगता है कि 6वीं से ये शुरू हो जाना चाहिए, ताकि 12वीं तक जाते जाते, और जो उसका जो होलिस्टिक रिपोर्ट कार्ड की आज हम बात करते हैं, जो असेसमेंट को दिखाती है बच्चे के, उसके साथ ये जो टेस्ट उसके साथ होते रहे, तो आप देखेंगे कि 6वीं में कोई बच्चा बोलता है मैंने डॉक्टर बनना है, वो 7वीं में इंजीनियर बनना सोचता है, 8वीं में जाकर के वो बोलता है मुझे इंजीनियर भी नहीं बनना, मुझे कुछ और ही बनना है. और इस तरह से जो बदलाव होते हैं, तो अगर काउंसलिंग होती है तो पहले तो क्लैरिटी आती है, क्योंकि 12वीं तक जब बच्चा आएगा तो एक जो ओवर द 6 साल 6वीं से 12वीं तक जो उसका ये टेस्ट हुए होंगे काउंसलिंग के, वो उसके रिपोर्ट कार्ड पे रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं कि वो उस बच्चे का आंकलन इस तरह से होता है कि वो उसका कहाँ वो जा सकता है, किस चीज के लिए वो ऑप्ट करना चाहिए उसको, वो उसको भी हेल्प करता है और उसके पेरेंट्स को भी हेल्प करता है और वो गवर्नमेंट के रिसोर्सेज को भी हेल्प करता है। तो अगर आपने जो ये प्रश्न पूछा, और अगर आप, मुझे नहीं पता आप कौन से अभी आप स्कूल कर चुके हो या नहीं कर चुके हो, तो मुझे लगता है कि जो आपका, अगर आप यूपीएससी का सोच रहे हो तो ताकि तो उस केस में मुझे लगता है कि 9th में जो आप अपना एनसीईआरटी की किताबें, सिविक्स की, हिस्ट्री की, मैथ्स की, या जो भी बुक्स आप पढ़, लैंग्वेज की, वो सारी की सारी किताबें आपको थोड़ा बहुत एक, क्योंकि यूपीएससी के पेपर्स आज जगह सभी जगह पे उपलब्ध हैं, तो आप उनका एक बारी देखें और आप उसको देखें कि मैं 9th में हूँ, इनमें से मैं ये चीज पढ़ करके अगर सिविक्स के 5 क्वेश्चन पिछले साल के एग्जाम में आए हैं, तो क्या 9th की कक्षा मेरे को इस काबिल बना रही है कि मैं इसका जवाब दे पा रहा हूँ कि नहीं दे पा रहा हूँ। नहीं भी बना रही है तो कोई बात नहीं, आप उसको पढ़ते रहिए, बिकॉज दैट इज द बिल्डिंग स्टेज फॉर यूपीएससी आज की डेट में अगर हम बात करें।
यस भाविका, आपने जैसे मेंशन किया कि वो किस क्लास में, शी हैज रिटन दैट वो +1 में है अभी।
हाँ, तो बहुत बढ़िया है, दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
So I think Bhavika sir has answered your question. So moving on to another question. This is related more towards the journalism aspect. So even Meenakshi ma'am or Deepa ma'am can answer this. And the question is, how AI is used in e-journalism? And this is Srishti who's asking this question. So sir, पहले आप अपना take बता दो.
नहीं, ये तो मेरा क्वेश्चन नहीं है। ये तो तुम ही आंसर दे सकते। यू आर ए स्टूडेंट ऑफ जर्नलिज्म एंड वी हैव अथॉरिटीज फ्रॉम जर्नलिज्म।
Yeah, so I think the expert should handle this and can handle this better than a student. So Deepa ma'am, ya Meenakshi ma'am, any one of you would like to take on this question?
Yeah, so AI is used in e-journalism. I mean, I would not prefer e-journalism any day. I would prefer journalism on the field. I think Meenakshi would say the same, but that's about my generation, I guess. And Mr. Sharma would agree with me on that, I'm sure. But yes, I mean, these days everybody is using AI and AI is the future. So ChatGPT is there for anybody. The thing about ChatGPT is that somebody who's not too well versed in the English language can also just produce a write-up that's to the T, like, it's more than perfect. So that is one thing. And so, yeah, AI can be used in e-journalism in every which way. Nalin, do you have to say something?
Ma'am, I would, since you said that AI is the future, so like थोड़ा orthodox thinking में अगर देखा जाए तो some people might completely refrain, बिल्कुल AI use ही ना करें, considering factual errors or inaccuracy, considering journalism के main principles में accuracy and speed is one of the most prominent ones. So modern approach would be that you do rely on AI. My personal perspective ये रहेगा कि आप AI पे solely depend ना करें. Let it be an assistance, not your mere tool that you derive your entire information from. अगर आप journalism आगे pursue करना चाहेंगे, सृष्टि, I would say कि always verify your sources and don't let AI be one of the main source from where you derive your factual information. So
that's good, Nalin. That's a good point. And also remain human, because AI is not human. Remain human to bring forth the human touch in stories.
Yeah, that's important. That's very important.
All right. So I think we covered this. question quite well. Sir, we have another question which states, what advice do you have for other states to improve their NAS rankings?
Oh, well, it will be little early. Let's wait for first. So we will know where we stand actually across all the states. But yes, the initial understanding, been given by Government of India to us, where I said we are standing in some second, and in some cases we are at position fifth and fourth. So I personally feel that if you are committed to the cause, then you get solutions for that. I mean, that's one thing. You have to be sincere. The first thing, as I said, that my spendings, getting money from Government of India, or particularly a state like Himachal, where there is a huge revenue deficit. We don't have that kind of resources as other states have. So we, solely rely on Government of India for resources. And if we cannot spend those resources for the cause they have come, then it's a shame. I mean, that is where the first thing we did. And that's the first part. The second part is then any money spent on a particular intervention, you really need to think out of box a bit. Like I talk about exposure visit for our children with the special needs. So they were always taken to, some adjoining states like Chandigarh or some other places. So I thought that why not we, take them by air to Delhi and then take them to the parliament. So this is the same intervention which has been done over the period of time, but they were taken to Rose Garden and brought back to their houses. So this is for the first time we took permission from the Parliament House. We took them to the Parliament, how the Parliament function. And can you believe one of the student who was suffering with autism, he raised the question to the officer in Parliament where Anurag Thakur sits in Parliament. Can you believe that? So, I mean, what I'm saying is that whatever you do, if you do it nicely with a little out of box, so results come. They do come. We have worked very hard. It's not that it is entirely the Samagra. The credit goes to, we did our team who did state level achievement test, and we took test in all the school across the state. In 6 months, we did 3 tests on the questionnaire, which has been actually worked out by the NAS team, where for the class 3rd, OMR sheet ko kaise bharna hai, kahan gola lagna hai, kahan nahi lagna. These are very difficult tasks when it comes to Himachal. But we did three tests before these boys and girls were actually took the final test done by the NES. And I'm really grateful to those teachers also, where we gave 0-hour period in the school. And these teachers were trained by us how to design questionnaire. And then the technology has helped us, quick response in 10 days time. We assessed all OMR sheet, gave the results to the teachers, again improved the questionnaire, again gave the trainings to the teachers, and all those things have happened. But at the same time, I'm grateful to the Chief Minister of the state who has a vision for this, and my minister who really ran from pillar to post. He was going to every school, and really urging teachers that kindly Himachal ki naak is baar rakh lena. So if that kind of a request comes from the Minister of Education, that makes a lot of difference to the state. Nalin.
Yes, sir, totally. I think what I can gather from your answer is that you should have that desire to actually make a change. Agar aap us position mein rehte ho, so you should work, according to that, and basically exercise the authority and the power that you have with the position. So very well said, sir. We'll move on to another question. I think this is from Usharwi. Please, excuse me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. So she's asking, respected sir, with the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, do you think AI should be formally introduced as a subject in school curriculum at the foundational or at the secondary level? And if yes, how can we ensure it's taught in a way that empowers students rather than just making them users of technology? काफी लंबा question है, but sir.
नहीं वो आपने इसका partially you have already answered this question with respect to the journalism, but let me tell my students who have joined us through this platform that I was in other day in Delhi, and the the chief economist of the country was actually addressing all the secretaries and SPDs of the state, and he said one thing, that there are empirical evidences across the world that at a primary stage, any boy or a girl who has actually gone through these gadgets in their hand, they could not do good in their life in the later part. So there are evidences. So we need to be careful when it comes to primary level or even to the elementary level. This is my request, and what Government of India mandate also, we are trying not to give much of work on gadgets to their home. And it would be good enough, many countries have actually done away with these smart classrooms also. But we are not going that far. But at the same time, we need to realize, yes, higher classes, maybe after 8th or so, AI is something which is a necessary evil now. We can't avoid it. I mean, that's every day in our life. We scroll our mobile, and the first it asks, and before even we speak, it catches you. You go to Northeast, and the mobile start telling you about Northeast. So you can't avoid it. So the point is that yes, it has to be formally introduced in our curriculums. The very fundamental subjects on IT and computer. There can be, some kind of a chapters which are on AIs, starting at maybe at class 8th or 9th, whatever the government, think of. But yes, this is required, and we can't avoid it. But this is not everything at the same time. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indeed. Matlab, agar AI, if a situation rises that AI is being taught, so the ethical use of AI, the ethical uses of digital literacy should be, part of the curriculum as well, so that the students who are using,
they know
yeah.
it.
Yeah, so at least they're using carefully. Definitely.
Yeah,
So
and definitely at a later stage, like Mr. Sharma said, not like, young children don't understand at all. So definitely this ought to come at a later stage where the understanding is a little more developed.
all right, definitely. So I think since even the meeting is running short of time, so we'll wrap it up quite quickly. So we try to, take up as many questions as we could. And we hope that sir or ma'am or any one of us who answered.
No more question on AI.
Okay. Definitely. Okay, sir. Noted. So to sum it up, I would like to say that we are at a turning point where education in Himachal is being redefined, not just by policy, but by shared purpose. So today's session, I could say that it was not just a conversation, it was a call to action. So to all our stakeholders, principals, teachers, diets, SCRTs, parents, edskExpress invites you to join this journey, share your insights, stories, challenges, and innovations. Together, let's make Himachal a model for inclusive and future-ready education. Thank you, Rajesh sir, once again, and thanks to Deepa ma'am and Meenakshi ma'am for steering this important conversation. And a big thank you to everyone who joined us live. Stay tuned for upcoming sessions on edskExpress. Till then, keep learning, keep inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Nalin.
so much, Nalin. And I'd just like to give a small little vote of thanks to specifically Mr. Sharma for being with us today, and to all the children who've been present, to all the principals, to all the teachers. Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for your time, your insights, and for your inspiring vision for schools and education, specifically in Himachal Pradesh. It's been an absolute privilege to host you today and to hear firsthand how Samagra Shiksha is shaping the future of inclusive and tech-enabled learning across the state. A big thank you to Meenakshi as well for bringing in such sharp editorial depth and helping steer this conversation with such clarity. To all the principals, teachers, diets, SERT teams, and our wonderful students who joined us live, thank you for your time, your engagement, your insightful questions, and your belief in the power of education. This session is part of edskExpress, a digital student media initiative by Deepspatial, created in collaboration with the Indian Express, and we are truly grateful to them for being our knowledge and content partners in this journey. Through initiatives like Little Anchors, where students become storytellers and change makers, and conversations like these, edskExpress aims to build a vibrant, informed, and confident student community. One that not only learns from the world, but also contributes to it. Thank you all once again for making this a meaningful and memorable exchange. We look forward to many more such moments together. Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for your invaluable time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, all.